Hi everyone, my name is Kate and welcome to my YouTube channel. So as the title suggests, today I'm going to be doing a Q&A video. So I think normally I'm going to focus on like uni vlogs and things like that, but I thought I'd do like an introduction video just so you get to know a bit about who I am and what I do. I was overwhelmed by the amount of responses I got to my Q&A poll, so thanks everyone. I've just decided to do 20 for this video, just to, cut it down a bit. But any questions that you still want answered, just direct message me on Instagram or pop up to me on Snapchat and I'll answer them on there for you. Okay, so let's get straight into it with question 1. Do you prefer cereal or toast for breakfast? Well, for me that's an easy one. Cereal is literally one of my favourite foods. I actually don't think there's a single cereal that I don't like. So yeah, definitely cereal. Question 2. If you could meet anyone for lunch, dead or alive, who would it be? So for this one, I was struggling a little bit because I feel like if I got the opportunity, I'd like to meet a lot of different people for different reasons. But I think the person I would most like to meet is Kate Middleton, purely because I feel like she'd be quite genuine to just have a chat to, and she seems quite down to earth, bearing in mind she's married into royalty. But other notable mentions go to Alicia Dixon, because I feel like she'd be a laugh. Cheryl, because she seems quite just nice. Yeah, that's probably it. Question 3. What was your favourite childhood film / TV programme? Okay, so my favourite childhood film was probably either The Magic Roundabout or The Little Mermaid. And my favourite childhood programme depends. If we're talking about like young children, then I used to like the Koala Brothers, the Tweenies, Storymaker, that kind of thing. But if we're talking about when you were like 10, 11, things like that, I used to really like Trapped on CBBC and Tracy Beaker Returns. Question 4. Mamma Mia 1 or Mamma Mia 2? Definitely Mamma Mia 2, because I feel like the songs are more catchy at the moment because they're not the really famous ABBA ones, they're like the less known ABBA ones, and I also think that Lily James is a really good actress, so definitely number 2. Question 5. What is your best memory? I don't have a single best memory, but I would say that Christmas is a good memory every year, especially when I was younger. I remember getting so excited that I couldn't even sleep the night before Christmas, and then just spending it with all your family and things like that. And then on Boxing Day, we'd sometimes go to my grandma's house and we'd all just play with the games and stuff that we got for Christmas. So yeah, I think that's definitely my best memory. Question 6. What would your dream house be? Probably like a massive cottage overlooking either a river, a lake, a field. Yeah, like a massive cottage out in the countryside. Question 7. How long have you been working at McDonald's for? So I started in September 2017, so it will be 3 years in September. Question 8. What is your favourite musical? That's difficult. I have quite a lot of favourite musicals, but I would say that my overall favourite is West Side Story. But I also like The Sound of Music, La La Land, Matilda. Yeah, they're probably my favourites, but I like West Side Story the most because I feel like it deals with a lot of issues that are still relevant today, and it's just I feel like it's quite timeless because it's an old musical, but it doesn't feel out of place when you watch it today, and I like the soundtrack. Question 9. What's your biggest fear? So I don't really think I have a lot of fears now, but when I was younger, the one that stands out to me is that I was always scared of getting lost in a supermarket. Like if mum or dad asked me to go and get something, I'd get it and then I'd be panicking because the trolley wasn't where they'd left it, and they'd obviously gone to get something else. But I just remember running up and down Sainsbury's trying to find them. Turns out they were only down the next aisle. And another fear that I used to have, I used to literally hate ordering things when I was probably around like 10. I couldn't stand it, so like I couldn't go to a counter and ask for a bar of chocolate or like pay for something. So yeah, that was pretty scary as well. Question 10, if you could travel anywhere, where would it be? I'm going to say definitely New Zealand. I feel like that's been on my bucket list for a while now, just because I feel like it's got a good mix of cities and like natural beauty, like lakes and fields and things like that. Plus, I'm quite a big fan of sheep. Question 11, do you pronounce it Bath or Bath? Definitely Bath, let's say no more. Question 12, what was your favourite subject at school? So you're probably all expecting me, well, those of you who know me, to say that history was my favourite subject at school, but it actually wasn't. I used to hate history in like year 7 and 8. My favourites were probably music, because you just got to basically muck about, or English, and I quite like science. I didn't like doing like the practicals in science, but I quite like the theory behind it all. So yeah, music, English and science. Question 13, you're amazing at singing, how did you get into it? Well, thank you so much. That's a weird story. I still don't know myself why I got into singing, to be honest, because I was 3 when I first went to singing lessons. From what I've heard from Mum, it's because when I was younger, I used to always sing to the Kylie Minogue CD in the car, and by like the age of 3, I used to know all the words to Can't Get You Out of My Head. So yeah, I think she just sent me along to singing lessons, and it just sort of like grew and grew from there. Before I knew it, I was doing 3 shows a year, and then I started doing music festivals and competitions. I was always in the school choir, doing like musical theatre productions, and yeah, it's just always sort of stemmed from there. So question 14's similar to 13, but it's, do you prefer singing, piano, acting or dancing? So I would say that I like singing, piano and dancing for different reasons. I would say singing's my favourite, followed by piano, followed by dancing, followed by acting. I don't know what it is about acting, but I find it really uncomfortable and awkward, so that is definitely at the bottom. Question 15, what's your favourite sandwich? That depends if we're talking sandwich that I'd make myself or sandwich that I'd buy. So if I were to make it myself, I like a brie and cranberry toasted sandwich. But if it's one that I was to buy from a shop or something like that, I would always get the M&S prawn mayo sandwich. That's 100% the best, as long as it's on white bread. Question 16, some of your outfits are really cool, where do you shop? Thank you. To be honest with you, I don't really have a particular shop. I tend to just think of the actual thing that I want. So say like with this shirt that I'm wearing now, I would just type into Google a red zebra striped shirt and it would just come up with all the shops that sell it, and I would sort of go from there. So rather than looking at the shop first, I look up the piece of clothing I actually want and then find what shops sell it. But my clothes honestly come from everywhere, like anywhere from branded stuff like Tommy Hilfiger, Levi's, Calvin Klein, right down to like Shein. Actually, I do like Shein. This is where this shirt comes from. I fully recommend it. I debated for a while whether it was legit, but it's absolutely fine as long as you can wait for shipping for a couple of weeks. Then yeah, I fully recommend. They do some quite funky stuff on there. Question 17, can you lick your elbow? Well, when I first saw this one, I was assuming that it's somebody who knows that I have double jointed elbows. And to be honest with you, before I got asked that question, I'd never tried to lick my elbow, but you know, we're going to try now. Let's go with no. Question 18, what's your favourite TV show now? Probably Gogglebox, because that's just funny. Gavin and Stacey, I feel like that's a classic. And Orange is the New Black I went with. I watch quite a lot of stuff on Netflix, but I think Orange is the New Black is the only like long series that I've ever properly got into. Question 19, what is your biggest pet peeve? I get annoyed quite easily by quite a lot, but I think the most irritating one for me is when you've lost something and somebody says to you, "Where did you last have it?" If I knew where I last have it, I probably wouldn't have lost it, would I? Like, I don't know what it is about that line. Like, I know it's just the natural thing to say in that situation, but it just really frustrates me. Like, it doesn't make sense at all. And finally, question 20. How did you find uni? I'm starting in September and I'm super excited. So I honestly loved uni. It's literally been the best experience that I could have asked for, bearing in mind the year's been cut short, but you know, can't be helped. I think you'll literally love uni, like as long as you've chosen the right uni for you, and when you go you put yourself out there to meet lots of like-minded people. And I know it's going to sound really cliche, but on top of everything, just be yourself, because if you're being someone you're not, it's going to be exposed sooner or later and you won't fall into the right friendship groups. So that is everything. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please give this video a like and a subscribe. See you all soon.